Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good night. I am here on live on YouTube as well as on TikTok. Haven't done this before, so we're trying this for the first time to offer the horoscopes for the week. I hope everyone has been having a good day. I hope everyone had a beautiful weekend. Just gonna wait a few minutes to have some people enter the rooms. Hello, how are you doing today, Elizabeth? Oh, well, we are finally out of the retrograde, and I could not be happier. This one was a lot. It was absolutely a lot. But I will say the thing I always say, I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm going to say the thing I always say with the retrogrades is I know that this retrograde was a very difficult one for a lot of people. I know we saw that a lot in the cards, but I will also say that the retrograde is meant to bring very important messages into our lives, things that we may not have recognized, lessons that we need to learn. So I hope that everyone who's on this live, as we have a very loud siren go by, very apropos for the retrograde, I hope everyone had a very informative retrograde, and I hope that you're able to embody any and all of the lessons that may have come to you during that time. And tonight, we're actually going to be going through the horoscopes for the week. Did this for the first time last week, and we think it went really well. I'm really excited to be able to do this on YouTube at the same time. So kind of a new experiment that we're trying. Hello, Veronica. Hello, Patty. Well, Patty actually is the first one to give a sign, and that's how we're going to do it. I'm going to kind of read the room, see the requests for which signs are going to go first. We're going to go through all of the signs tonight, and Patty has actually said Leo, so we are going to start with Leo, and I don't mind starting with Leo because guess what? Leo is my sign, so all right, why don't we get started? Hi, everyone joining. So, what are the messages that are going to be coming through this week for Leos? Wow, we've already got them coming up. Can I get one more card for Leo, please? I'm going to do 3 card readings tonight. Whoop, there it is. Oh, very interesting. Okay, so for my lions out there, what we're seeing here, this is a week that you're going to be getting comfortable again. One of the big things as you move out of this retrograde has been kind of trying to find your sense of comfort and comfort in your own life. And I love this here because this is such a beautiful card to see for our Leos. And that is the 9 of Pentacles. And this says that there's going to be a new renewed concentration on your home, on what brings comfort to your life. At the same time, and I need to stress this, there is going to be some issues here. Because what I'm really seeing is happening for the Leos right now is the Leos are trying to understand what the life around them is going to be like. Thank you so much for the roses. What the life around them is really going to be like and what kind of life they want to cultivate around themselves. Listen, us lions, we are creatures of comfort. We do not do well unless we are in a sense of a place of comfort. So this is something that's very, whereas many other signs, this might not come across as important. This is very fundamental to like the Leo's general way of being. If a Leo's not feeling comfortable in themselves, in their surroundings, nothing is really going to go well for the Leos because you need to kind of have that environment to support your own sense of kind of internal beauty and this like higher aesthetic that becomes very spiritual. I am seeing here that one of the conflicts this week for the Leos is going to be how exactly to do that. Because we have there, right with this 9 of Pentacles energy, which we love, we also have the 5 of Wands, which means there's still, I think that Leos are still struggling a lot with some of the messages that may have come through during the retrograde period. There may have been some lessons, especially around what a Leo needs to feel safe and comfortable and supported. And as a result, there's going to be that conflict there. There's going to be difficulty in determining what needs to stay to create that in their life, what they need to bring in, and what needs to go. And I need to stress the what needs to go part for our beautiful lions, because here, the third card that we have coming up is another 5 card, but this one is transverse. And this is around the 5 of Cups. Now, what's really interesting here is the fact that we're getting 2 5s, which is a concentration, again, on home, on environment, on functionality, on being able to actually move forward. But here we see that difficulty that the lions are having, particularly around those retrograde messages, because there's a difficulty here for Leos in terms of walking away. There is a difficulty in terms of accepting what needs to be removed from their life and what they need to turn their attention to. And this clarifies the conflict that we see is occurring in the Leo's headspace around the sense of comfort and support that they're trying to cultivate around themselves right now. It's this stumbling block here. This is the minute that Leos need to understand that they're fighting the inevitable at this point, that the Leos accept and understand that there is something that they need to address or they need to walk away from that is not supporting this sense of comfort, this sense of support, this sense of feeling at home in one's own environment. There's something right now in the Leo's life that the Leo understands that they need to depart from, but they don't want to do that. And so this is going to be the real challenge this week, because I feel like the Leos are going to kind of, this is almost like a continuation of the work from the retrograde that's still continuing to pass through. Leos, you've got to kind of accept this. You've got to accept this tide, because we know that if you don't, you're just going to keep going through these same conflicts that may have come up during the retrograde period. Remember, I really think that this is a very important card for all of the Leos who are watching this to try to manifest right now. Remember, you thrive best when you're in an environment that supports you, that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel comfortable, that makes you feel appreciated, that makes you feel at home. Anything that is making you not feel at home, that's going to be the thing that you're struggling with. And sometimes there's going to be things in your life that no matter how much you want to integrate them, you want to incorporate them into your environment, into your landscape. If they're not working, then they must go. So I'd like you to hold on to this message. Leos, I hope that helps. And what shall we do next? Thank you so much, Angel, for sharing the live. I deeply appreciate it. Again, I do this live for free, so any likes and shares are deeply, deeply appreciated. I will also say that I am available for private readings. My calendar is up to date. You can find the on my link tree on my profile at gracedraga.com. You can book a reading. My readings come with different time tiers, and they also offer the ability to have them recorded so you can view them in the comfort of your own home after we have the reading. Okay, so looking at what is next, I am seeing a lot of Cancers coming through. The whole time I was doing Leo, I just saw Cancer, 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 Cancer. So I'm going to move to Cancer next. Let me just make a note of it because I will forget if I did it. All right. What do we have coming in this week for Cancers? Can I have 3 cards for Cancer, please? There they are. Wow, they came out fast. They came out fast. So Cancer is really springing through right after this retrograde period comes to an end. And the first thing that's happening, it's funny I say they're coming in fast. It's more like the decisions that the Cancers are making are coming in fast. One of those decisions is actually almost like a reverse course here, which is really intriguing. We're immediately seeing here, I'm starting to see a lot here that even though the retrograde has ended, there's still some like conflicts. There's still a lot of work that needs to be unpacked from the things that were opened up during this very difficult retrograde. One of the areas for Cancers right now that's so difficult is there is a decision on something that the Cancers are pulling back from, right? And we see this a lot with Cancer energy. We see this like almost like call it the crabbing in, like the Cancers will sometimes pull back on something. There's some area in Cancer's life right now that they were moving very quickly through and to, and they've now changed their mind on it completely. And so we see this withdrawal that's occurring here, almost like a very fast retreat. And why, you might ask? Why are the Cancers making this why are they withdrawing? It's basically like an energy withdrawal. We see the Cancers, the big message from the retrograde that the Cancers experience this year. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like my sweater. One of the things that we've noticed is that the Cancers are pulling their energy back from something in their life. Again, a lesson from the retrograde. What was that thing and why did they do it? The Cancers have decided that whatever this is in your life right now, Cancer, that you are pulling your energy back from, it is because you have decided it is not in your highest nature. It is not for your best self right now. Whatever this is right now is not honoring your highest self. Something became clear during the retrograde that made you realign, that made you change course. Thank you so much for the gifts, Nicole. It is, and this is good. This is totally good. We always want to support something. We should always, thank you so much for the gifts, Angel. We always want to support an area when we suddenly realize that our higher insight is not being achieved in this place. And that is what we see the Cancers doing here. Very good of the Cancers to do it, because sometimes the hardest thing to do is admit when we are kind of headed in the wrong direction. The reason, and you may ask, well, that's intriguing. Why were the Cancers kind of moving in this one direction and they suddenly had this like immediate change of course and go, oh no, that is not for me. I am taking my energy back from this. Well, because the Cancers realize something that often becomes clear during retrograde periods, and that is secrets that were revealed. This week, there's something going on with the Cancers where there's something that's happened during the retrograde. And it's almost like the truths that were coming out during the retrograde are continuing. Whatever happened, whatever miscommunications, Cancer, again, this is why we say the retrograde's messages have a purpose. Something was made clear to you. Something was made very abundantly clear to you during this retrograde period. Something that was in the darkness, something that was almost maybe intentionally being kept from you or intentionally hidden. Some, again, and this is why we love the retrograde energy, some stumbling blocks, some misstep, some misspeaking, some little truth, some very important truths were revealed during this retrograde, and Cancers are not waiting. They're not having the problem that we saw, they're the sign before, the sign after them they're not having any of this difficulty that Leo is having in moving forward into that comfort zone. No, the crabs are just saying, no, 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 I am out. And we support that. That's good because again, and I want you to remember this, Cancers, as you do this, I want your guidepost this week to really be just as, thank you so much for the gift, Crazy. Just as the Leos, like their guidepost this week is to say, what brings me comfort? What brings me security? What makes me feel sane and stable? Cancer's message this week is what aligns to my highest self? What speaks to my highest person? And giving them yourselves permission to pull your energy back from anything that you do not think is leading you on that path of higher wisdom and higher guidance. And yes, the truths that are being revealed to you or the secrets that are coming out are helping you have the guide stones to get you there. Cancers, I hope that that helps you. Okay. So far, thank you to everyone who's joining our live. Thank you to everyone on YouTube. So far, we have done Leo and Cancer. Oh, you're so welcome, Maga. So just a reminder, anybody who is interested, I also offer private readings. My calendar is up to date for the week. I still have some availability. You can book a private reading on my website, graystrega.com. Link is both in my TikTok link tree, or you can just go on the web and find it. Okay, and what are we doing next? Who is next? Hello, everyone joining. All right, guys, if you want yours done, now is the time. Please hit that screen. Tell me what we're doing. Oh, I'm seeing Aries coming up, so we're going to do Aries. All right, can I see some Aries, please? Can I get some Aries energy here? We got our 3 cards. So one thing that's very interesting about Aries this week, Aries, again, any Aries who are in the room, tap the screen. Let me know that you are here. All right, so Aries, there's some things that are hidden right now that you're still kind of coming to terms with around this retrograde. The thing is, and this is very big Aries energy, you're completely driven. You know exactly the path you want to. What's really interesting about this is very Aries energy. I'm an Aries rising, so I totally get this. Aries right now know the path that they want to go on. They know which direction they want to go into. They have no idea what is in store for them in that direction. Like I said, this is big Aries energy. They have no idea what's in store for them. They just know they're going that way. So it's like Aries have decided there is kind of a leap of faith mentality right now, right? With whatever message that the Aries is taking from this retrograde period, but they're not doing it blindly. The Aries realize that yes, they need to take a risk right now, but it is a calculated risk that is not spontaneous. It's not something that they just decided to do overnight. It is something that they've put a lot of thought into, and that they're taking this risk in like the best way possible, like almost like with like a security blanket around them, saying like, yes, I need to take this risk. There is definitely things around it that I don't know, but I know that this is a direction I have to go into, which is why we find the only card that came up upright or out or showing is the Fool reversed. And we like this. We love this energy for Aries because Aries is the beginning of the zodiac. This is the beginning of the tarot. So this is an environment that the Aries are going to feel very, very comfortable in right now. Even though, I mean, again, there's that level of excitement for them that, the Aries love, that bit of newness. There's definitely this feeling of kind of a new path, that new direction that they're going into, but not blindly, with the wisdom that has gotten them to where they are today. Now let's find out the ones that are hidden around Aries to get some more clarity. I can't make this up, guys. Aries are really having their moment right now. When I say like there's something about coming out of this retrograde right now that is big for Aries, I'm getting double confirmation on that, because not only do we have the Fool reversed right here. I love Curious Watermelon just wrote, oh wait, I'm an Aries, never mind. That's a very Aries thing to say. So not only do we have the Aries coming into this place where they're going into these new things, they're not exactly sure what's in store for them. They just know that this is direction they want to go into. Why do they know that? Because they're going with their gut. They're going with their instinct. And here is the Aries card, the Emperor. So Aries have this, there is some kind of deep knowledge, this deep level of sense of self and self-awareness that Aries is leaving this Mercury retrograde with. So something It's almost like something during this retrograde almost like fortified the Aries. It almost gave them confirmation on their own validity, on their own being. And so they're sitting right now, the Aries this week, I really feel like you're going to make, now is a really good week for the Aries. You know, typically the week after a Mercury, like a retrograde, is a little bit of a slowdown. I feel like Aries are really going to move out through this week, like with a lot of energy, a lot of possibilities, a lot of opportunities coming quickly, but also because they're embodying that energy, very much so. Aries are not sitting back on their heels right now. They know exactly what they need to do and how to do it. And they're not waiting for anyone to stop to tell them how to do it. They're just going ahead and doing it because they're like, I know what I'm doing right now. I'm willing to even take risks when I need to because I know what I'm doing. I know who I am. And the Aries know what they're doing when they know themselves, when they feel that sense of empowerment and entitlement. So we love this for Aries right now. The other card we have, dude, Aries, this is your week. Like the Aries this week, I cannot stress this. Aries, do the thing you've been waiting to do this week because we see a lot of really, really positive cards here for Aries coming out of this retrograde. Because here we go. We've got the Fool reversed, a great card to come out of the retrograde with, taking those calculated risks. We know you're doing them from a place of power and authority. So we see here really kind of being in the limelight and shining. I know it is Aries week. This is Aries week. Aries, these are your cards. Tap the screen, claim it. So we also see that Aries are really in their element right now with this energy. And there are so many opportunities right now for Aries. And the reason that the Aries are probably feeling like this is because they kind of sense that this is around them right now. We see here with this Ace of Pentacles that the Aries are ramping up right now because they understand. Aries are good at knowing when to strike when the iron is hot, and they realize that there's some aspect to coming out of this retrograde period right now for them that is the perfect meeting point of a lot of different material, and I'm talking material things here. So things around money, contracts, anything that's like actually going to show some like tangible value in your life. Now is the time for it. So huge reminder to Aries this week. You know, I know a lot of people put off signing contracts or doing things during the retrograde. Sign that stuff this week. Get that stuff done this week because this is going to be a very successful week for you as it relates to these projects moving forward. So Aries, do not wait. Use this week to your advantage because these cards are beautiful. We love them for the Aries. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Aries, who joined, and thank you for the ones who are claiming it. Hello, everyone who's joining. Thank you guys so much for the likes and the follows. I am doing all of the horoscope tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody's having a beautiful night. Thank you guys so much for the follows and the shares. I deeply appreciate it. Oh, dear, curious. Have a beautiful night. So far, we have done Leo and Cancer and Aries. Just a reminder to those joining. So I am doing all the horoscopes tonight. However, if you do want to book a private reading with me, my calendar is up to date. You can go to my website, gracedraga.com, to book a private reading. That also comes with your option of a video that you'll be able to have of it and watch afterwards. And let's see what's next. So, all right, I see them. I see those Taurus who've been begging. And you know what? Taurus has got a lot going on this week because immediately Taurus gets 4 cards instead of 3. So we are now doing Taurus. So if you are a Taurus, I saw a lot of you, please tap that screen. Let me know that you're here. Yes, Taurus gang, now is your time. So you got 4 cards. You guys are going a little extra. You're being a little extra this week. So there's a lot going on for the Taurus this week, apparently, right out of the retrograde. All the cards are hidden, though. They all dropped hidden, which is very interesting. So there's a lot going on under the surface for the Taurus right now. They might be kind of keeping low key on some things, but you've got a lot of things going on, which is very interesting. And this is why the Taurus are going, like, why are you being so quiet about stuff, Taurus? Like, what's going on right now? Taurus is making some moves. And the thing is, Taurus, I feel like the reason you're kind of keeping a little quiet here with the moves you're making is there's kind of this energy here where you feel like you're kind of, how do I put this in a polite way? You are taking as much advantage of a situation as you possibly can. Maybe a little more than even you know you should be. I will put that out there. You got to be careful with this kind of energy, Taurus, because this is holding this many swords, holding this many. Look at this, how this man's holding these swords. That can cut back, that can bite back. So, a little word of caution to the Taurus right now. I see that there's a lot of ambition right now with the Taurus, which is why you guys are doing so much and kind of moving silently in some areas. But also, you want to be very careful with that because this is the kind of thing that can kind of bite back on you if you're not careful. You should think about what you're doing. So I'm going to say, what else is being hidden here? Did I stutter? Look at all these swords around Taurus right now. So whatever the Taurus, like the reason the Taurus are kind of moving in silence right now or moving so carefully is, again, you are trying to take advantage of a situation, and you're also trying to avoid conflict as you do it. So there is this energy right now around the Taurus of basically trying to kind of have your cake and eat it too, right? Because you're trying to take all these swords, but then you don't want to fight. You don't want to start a fight. There is this need right now. There is this kind of calming waters that we see around the Taurus, which is like you're just trying to gather up as much as you can right now without causing any further drama. This says to me that the Taurus are probably going through a lot of conflict and a lot of drama during this retrograde. Taurus, if this is coming through or confirming to you, please let me know in the contents because this so far is like some tea. This is some tea. What else do we have hidden for Taurus who have all? I just see yes. Okay, good. What else do we have around the Taurus here? There is a deep need for the Taurans right now. I don't know what was happening during the retrograde, but again, the Taurus, I don't know if you guys were seeing red during this retrograde, but I have a feeling you were. Because, like I said, suddenly the Taurus are moving very quietly, very quickly, trying to get, trying to get the upper hand in a circumstance or situation, trying to tamp down any potential conflict that could occur in the midst of it. Because what you're really trying to do is you're trying to move your life into a very positive place. So you're trying to move out of all of that conflict that you were dealing with during the retrograde, which I need to point out might be a little bit because of this energy. Something to think about, Taurus. If you're experiencing some conflict during the retrograde, what was the conflict around? And did someone feel like you were taking advantage of a situation? I'm not saying you did it intentionally, but there is this kind of running through knives. Yes, exactly. There is this kind of energy here where, like, there might have been some drama around the Taurans because they were kind of caught doing something that did not paint them in the best of light, which is why we see this desire for conflict resolution here. Okay. I understand that right now, though, Taurus does have their minds in the right place. The Taurans right now, the Taurus really, really kind of just want to build a positive, much like the Leos. We got this fixed sign energy coming through strong on this. There is a desire to really kind of build some joy, some prosperity, and there is this idea of kind of looking at the bigger picture. Like the Taurans are really, really focusing right now on their life, their careers. The bigger picture things are really the place that the Taurus want to move into, because I have a feeling whatever this conflict was distracting from this. And you may realize that you might have been a bit, like, if that was the shifted direction, it may have had something to do with the fact that you kind of were carrying some of that argument with you that caused this upset. Yes, you see, I'm fed up with being pulled to negative. I want peace and happiness. That is exactly what we're seeing with Taurus. The only thing I'd say with the Taurus right now is, again, you have to ask how you can do that with your actions to make sure that you're not, again, de-escalation, harmony, Like Taurus has the ability to create harmony here. You have to be careful with how you do that because there's a lot of swords here, which is the only thing I warned the Taurus about. Now, what was this extra card? Yeah. All of this is happening. Taurus is trying to shift their focus more to their life, their peace, their happiness, their things. Because what's really happening is the Taurus are extremely wounded right now. We've got here 9 of Wands energy. So here's the thing. Taurus, I don't know if you guys were going through some deep conflict during this retrograde period. It seems like that was probably the case. There may have been some arguments that were around you. You may have pushed, I will admit, this does indicate to me that you may have even escalated, maybe not intentionally, but escalated some of these hot button issues in your life during the retrograde. And now you want to do an about face. Now Taurus is out of the retrograde and they're really saying like, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want any of this conflict in my life. I just want things to be nice and peaceful. And Taurus are ready to just kind of hunker down and hide and nurse their wounds until they think that that's going to happen. The only thing I would say to the Taurus right now who are receiving this message is you need to ask yourself if this self-protecting behavior, like if the issue with the 9 of Wands is this individual looks like they're wounded from battle, but they're also holding a wand. So you need to ask yourself, were they wounded because they took they made the first strike and then they got hit back? We don't know. And they also look like they're gearing ready. They're still ready to fight, right? So you have to ask yourself right now, Taurus, what does healing look like? Because there is a lot of energy around this that makes it feel like it's very much a solo mission. There's a lot of trauma response that might be happening right now for the Taurus. And just ask yourself, is that going to lead to the conflict resolution that you really desire, this peacefulness? Because if the reason the conflict started was because of something that you did or you pushed through, is going inwards and nursing your own wounds instead of addressing this conflict, is that going to fix it? That's the only thing I'd say to the Taurus with the cards that I'm seeing here. Because there's a lot going on under the surface right now for the Taurus, and I worry that so much of this is going on internally that people around you might not experience it or understand what you're doing. It might just look like you're just completely going ghost on the world. Just keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Taurus. I hope that helps. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We are here on TikTok and also on YouTube. Very exciting. First time we're doing live. Okay, so for those of you who are joining, we're going through the whole horoscope tonight. I'm also available for those interested. If you like the readings I've been giving you so far, I do have openings this week for personal readings. You can book those readings on my website, gracedraga.com. I offer multiple tiers, and you get the option of a recording when I do those readings. So, okay, so far we have done Leo, Cancer, Aries, and Taurus. Who is next? I think I know because I saw them all over. It's Pisces. Yeah, Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. All right, we got our Pisces coming through, and we've got our, same here. Same thing with the Taurus. So there's a lot going on right now with Pisces energy. We have 4 cards again popping up for Pisces. Very interesting though, because only one of them is upright. So again, on one hand, to everyone around the Pisces right now, it looks like they're doing one thing, but very much in that Pisces energy, there's a lot going on under the surface. We're not surprised to see it. The thing that's immediately coming up right now around the Pisces, and let me just write it down so I remember where we are. Okay. The thing that Pisces right now, to everybody else in their life, Pisces, like you're doing really well right now in terms of balancing a lot of different plates at the same time. You are coming out of this retrograde very to everybody's intents and purposes, very like handling things remarkably well. It could almost be a situation where everyone else is like, wow, you look like you survived this retrograde without a hitch. We see that because we've got the Two of Pentacles. I will point out that that is very much how it looks. So this is something that is much more difficult to actually put into practice because this takes a lot of work, right? Takes a lot of work, and it's there's a lot of there's a lot of effort that needs to be in there, keeping all of these things moving so adroitly. So that whenever we see the Two of Pentacles, it is a question to worry about that potential exhaustion point for our Pisces. I did see someone comment that they thought they missed, and Angel, you did miss Leo, but I will point out I am streaming this right now on YouTube, and so there should be a recording of it after we finish. You can probably watch it there. You might be able to even rewind. I'm not exact. You'll have to forgive me. I'm not like super good yet with learning how like the live works over there, but you might want to try checking that out. I hope that helps. So what else do we have going on with Pisces right now? Well, I like this for Pisces because what's really happening here is Pisces is in a way releasing something. It's almost like a lot of the Pisces it's almost like they were fighting themselves against something throughout this retrograde. Some truth, something that they were really defending themselves again. And Pisces is kind of, and again, we like this because this is very much where the Pisces typically do their best. Like when the Pisces don't fight against their own flow, the fish do really well. And we see that happening right now for the Pisces, which is the reason they're able to look like they're handling all of this so well is because there is some aspect where they've stopped fighting themselves around a situation or circumstance. And that release is allowing this flow state to happen for them. It's almost like they've like unblocked themselves by just accepting the truth of a scenario situation. And now that they've done that, the Pisces are look like they're handling things very well. Okay, continuing to move through. And this is good too. Again, what are these things that Pisces are moving away from right now, like under the surface? Well, it's actually Pisces' refusal to leave a circumstance or situation, right? So what we have here that's really intriguing is the Pisces right now are in the opposite place of the Leos. Because if you'll remember the Leos, the thing we saw with the Leos, and I know we have some Leos here asking about the reading, what we saw with the Leos, who we started with, the Leos' big problem right now is they need to focus on comfort. And the only way they can focus on comfort is if they finally accept that they need to let something go, and they refuse to let it go, and it's making their life very difficult. The Pisces are having the opposite problem right now. Not a problem, actually. It's going very well for Pisces the minute that they unblock. Whatever happened during the retrograde, help unblock this. Pisces stopped fighting themselves around a circumstance or situation that they did not want to depart from. That they said, I'm not done here. The Pisces said, I'm not done here. Nobody needs to make me go anywhere. And Pisces are almost reinvesting in circumstances and situations that they feel are worth fighting for. So it's interesting because we almost see the Pisces saying, like, I was fighting myself about not leaving. Like it was almost like the Pisces were trying to force themselves to leave a situation. And they finally, over the retrograde, said, I'm not doing it. I'm not going anywhere. And as a result, and why are they doing that now? Why are the Pisces, what happened during the retrograde that's so intriguing that's now allowing the Pisces to feel much more secure about sticking to certain circumstances and situations, or even sticking to certain, like, almost sticking to certain, like, argumentative topics in their life, because this is sword energy here and wand energy. It's because Pisces are feeling very secure and grounded in the world around them right now. There's some situation right now going on around the Pisces where they feel a deeper level of security in their own stability. And this could be very practical. This could be around the job or the home. It's almost like the Pisces right now don't need to worry so much about the tangible things in their life, which is creating more bandwidth for them to say, I don't need to worry about that. And now that I don't, I'm going to put some of that mental energy I have into the places and the areas of my life that I want to pursue, even if I have to fight for them a bit. We love that for Pisces. This is really beautiful energy for Pisces. And I think it's not the kind of energy you see too frequently with Pisces. There's a beautiful amount of stability here right now with this sign. I really like it. So good for the Pisces. This is going to be a very good week for the Pisces. And there's going to be a lot of like kind of securing the bag energy here for the Pisces too. So keep securing that bag, because we see that the more you're able to secure that bag this week, like the more you're going to be able to kind of make moves in different areas of your life that you may have been uncertain in. So Pisces, I hope that helps. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the shares. Thank you so much for the follows. Deeply appreciate it. I love doing this with you guys. All right, so for you guys who are joining, hello, hello. As you may know, we are doing all of the horoscopes tonight. I'm the Gray Strega. If you are interested in a private reading, you can book one on my site. I do have some availability this week. My calendar for this week is up to date. You can book that on graysterga.com. Find the link in my link tree. I offer multiple tiers. I offer also tarot training if that's something that you're interested in as well. And for those of you who are joining us so far, we have done Leo, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, and Pisces. And I see a million Virgos coming up now, so we're going to do Virgos. Guys, if you missed your reading, never fear. I am streaming on YouTube right now, and it should all be there when we finish up. I think, whole fingers crossed, right? That's how it works. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, we've got Virgos. We got a lot going on right now. Okay, we're going to give it to the Virgos because there's a lot of big cards happening here right now. So I feel like the Virgos need to hear it. You guys got way more cards than anyone else right now. And I'm also going to read it because they're all top facing, which means it's all happening at once. So, oh, congratulations, Tukel. You are my top viewer. And thank you so much for the rose. Okay, yeah. Apparently the Virgos are all saying, yes, we need this. You guys, the reason you've got so much going on right now is I feel that there is a bit of the same energy here that we may have seen with the Leos. I feel like something was made clear to you during the retrograde, and you are resistant to accepting that choice. So one of the reasons you might be experiencing all of this stuff happening right now is because you aren't making this choice. So just keep this in mind. We see this here with them, with the Virgos, with this 8 of Cups reversed energy. And so what happens when we aren't able to make a choice? Well, when we aren't able to make a choice, we basically create a block for ourselves where we cannot proceed. Sometimes we need, in the difficulty with making this choice is understanding that when you make this choice, you feel like you're going to have to deny other choices. But the thing is, when you don't make any choice, it's not like you have every option. You have no options until you make a choice. I need you to understand that, Virgos. Like, you're being timid in this is not really going to help you, because what we really see here, and this is why I want you to make this choice. Once you make this choice, do you see what happened with the Pisces? Like, the Pisces are like, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to do the thing. Thank you so much for the gift, too. Once you make this choice, things are going to work out a lot easier for you. You're really going to kind of like find a huge surprise. The minute you make this choice that you know you need to make, you're going to suddenly feel much more in control of what's going on around you. And until you make that choice, you're not going to feel this sense of control. Because what's really happening right now is I feel like you do feel that there are things being withheld from you right now. And this could even be around the idea of your finances or your circumstances. I want you to be very mindful of anything in your life right now that you do not feel is giving back to you to the level and degree that you feel that it ought. That is going to be your guidepost in turning to what you need to choose and moving forward from it. This can also relate to relationships. If someone is breadcrumbing you, if you've been sticking around waiting for someone to kind of, come to the table and deliver the things that you want them to deliver, this could be your sign right now that this is the moment to say, okay, I got to pull the plug on this. This is not the option for me. So anything that isn't energetically returning the amount that you're investing in it right now, my Virgos, you got to walk away from. And I think that I see that this is the big energy. This is the huge energy right now around the Virgos, is this difficulty in this decision. And I understand the reason that they're feeling so difficult in it, because it feels like these decisions, this determination, whatever this determination is for you right now, Virgos, it is monumental. There is something right now. It can be for Virgo rising. Don't start. I will always point out whenever I do these, I always recommend you stick around for both your sun sign and your rising sign. I always do that myself when I do these readings, because I feel like that's going to give you the best optics on the two things happening, especially if you connect very strongly with your rising sign. Now, as I was saying, there is, yes, a ton of bricks. I can see that there's a ton of bricks around this for Virgos, which is where this difficulty in making this choice is, because there is this feeling that a lot of things hang on this. The thing I want to remind the Virgos of, though, is you cannot make a wrong decision here, babes. You know what the right decision is. You're going to make the right decision as long as you follow this guidance, which is, again, turn your back from the things that are not energetically delivering to you. And no, I'm sorry. If you're saying no, they haven't yet, no. If they haven't, they're not going to. This is really the kind of a crucial moment for you right now. And you can also see that that's why. And that's why we still see this blockage here. And we're seeing a double blockage with Virgos, which I think is what is going to be so difficult this week. There is a deep issue right now with the Virgos on accepting that they need to let something go. These are the two cards, especially with this one reversed. To the Five of Cups upright is basically the Eight of Cups reversed. So we're getting double confirmation here that there is a big decision, and the Virgos know that they have to let go of something in order to proceed. But there's so much anxiety and there's so much grief around the loss of those other options. The thing is, and you have to understand this, Virgo, you're not losing anything. What you're really doing is you're turning your back on mourning something that is not coming to pass. And I will point out, once you stop that grief period and turn your attention to what opportunities are before you, your whole perspective is going to shift. When I say your whole perspective is going to shift, I mean your whole perspective is going to shift. Look at these cards around this. Like, once you make this decision, and I know it's not an easy decision, things are going to almost immediately improve. Because here's the thing I want the Virgos to understand, and this is going to be like the biggest thing. Whatever blocks and limitations you have in this thing that you've been waiting for that hasn't been coming to pass, there's even more secrets around it as to why it won't come to pass. And I have a feeling that once you make this decision and you move away from those things, then these secrets are going to kind of hit the light of day. And then you're going to get the illumination you needed and be like, wow, I made the right choice. That was exactly the choice. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I didn't wait for that. I'm so glad I didn't wait for that, because there was nothing to wait for. And if I had known that, it's going to be one of these situations after coming out of this week where you're going to look back and go, if I had known then what I know now, oh, it wouldn't have even been I wouldn't have had to worry about it at all. I would have made that decision like this. But these clarity points are only going to come through. Thank you so much, Jenny, for the roses. Are only going to come through once you make the choice. You're not going to get the clarity until you make the choice. I need you to focus on that. Big week for the Virgos. Difficult week for the Virgos, but you got this. Again, remember that there are a lot of really powerful cards that we just saw around that. It's just the choice itself that's going to be so difficult, you know? So yeah, I gotta love hindsight. Exactly. This is really a hindsight situation. But here's the thing: you can't mess this up. I feel like the Virgos, everything I see there, the Virgos already know the choice they have to make. You're digging your feet in. You don't want to make it. Just make the choice. You know what you have to do. Thank you guys so much for the likes, the follows, the shares. I am the Grace Strega. I am doing all of the horoscope tonight. If anyone is resonating with these readings, I would like to offer you the ability. You can book a personal reading. If you go to my website, gracestrega.com, you can also find the link in my link tree. We have done so far Leo, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Pisces, and Virgo. So now's your moment, guys. If you want yours to come up, whoa, too many cards, please. All right, so if you want yours to come up, I'm seeing Sagittarius. We are going to do Sagittarius next. Okay, so this is for Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Risings. What do we have for Sagittarius? That is great. You guys are going to love that one. Can I please get 2 more cards for Sagittarius, please? And there they are. Wow, good week for Sagittarius. We like this energy a lot. I am a Sagittarius moon. I will take this as well. So, a lot of the similar feeling for Sagittarius right now as the Aries. So good things. So interestingly, the Leos are having a much harder time coming out of this retrograde, but the other 2 fire signs, Sag and Aries, are having a great time. They're having a wonderful time. Why? Because they both got the same Ace of Pentacles coming up around them. They got the bag. There's something right now. There's opportunities right now for the Sagittarius that are right there. They're being offered immediately, and Sag is not waiting on them. This is going to be the week. I feel like if there's anything that Sag has been waiting on, this is the week it's going to be delivered. So this is your confirmation, Sag. This is the week. But here's the thing I need to stress. Whatever this is, you're going to have to move on it really quick. We see the fact that whatever opportunities come to Sag this week, you are going to want to jump on it ASAP. ASAP. Why? Because we see that there's magician energy around it, which says to me that whatever this is, you're going to have to move on it very quickly. And there's going to be a lot of responsibility on you to kind of strike. Same thing I said to Aries, strike while the iron is hot. It's almost double for you right now. So the tap if you're a Sag right now, because this is good for you. So magician energy right now, you're great. You've got the ability to do this. You've got all the tools you need. You just need to do the thing. And this is also saying to you, if there's something that you've been waiting on that you knew you had to do in order to secure this, this is the week. This is the week for our Sages to jump on these things. Do not delay. Start signing those papers. Do whatever you need to, because this is going to be a very good week for you to start to do the work that's going to have immediately payouts. And when I say you need to hurry on this, I mean you need to hurry. Why do I say you need to hurry? Because we've got a temperance reversed around this, which says to me that there's something going on this week that is this week specifically for our Sages. You need to do it this week. Don't delay. Don't put off. Don't procrastinate on something that you've been procrastinating on this week, because this is really kind of a sign and confirmation that this is the week that you are really being pushed forward by the universe and being told like, no, now is the time to do these things. There's no delay for you. You should do them this week because, and it's almost one of those situations like the sooner the better. Not to like put a fire, like not like the Sages need a fire put under their butts, but this is really saying right now, like, yes, Sages, take this as confirmation. Don't wait anymore. If you've been waiting on something, don't wait anymore. Now, do it right now. Get it done. Don't procrastinate. Just get it all done this week, because whatever you start and try to do this week, you're going to have a lot of success with. It's going to be a lot of new things that you're going to start this week, but anything that you start this week that's new is going to have almost like immediately, there's going to be a payout on it. And this could either be jumping on an opportunity that's being offered to you very quickly, or doing the work for an offer that you think is going to be coming from this. And this is almost like a reverse situation where the Sag almost knows. It's almost like a freelance project. The Sag knows, it's like, oh no, the money is not even, like if I do it, I'm immediately going to get money for it. Like I'm immediately going to see like a job offer. Exactly. This can definitely also mean a job offer. Very good point, Darla. This is very, very much kind of in that opportunity is being offered situation. And this is the week to just like, don't wait, just do it. Apply to that job this week. Take that offer, do those things you need to do this week, because this is going to be the week for you, Sag. This is beautiful energy here. So definitely claim this. Definitely tap the screen because I love, these are some beautiful cards for Sagittarius this week. Love this. Okay, so that was what we've got for Sag. Yeah, I know. I'm happy for the Sages. That's good, especially after we Sages are having a better week than Virgos. Sages and Aries are having a better week than Leos. Leos are having a rough week. We started with Leos. I'm like, oh no, I'm a Leo. All right, guys, thank you so much for everyone who's joining. Thank you guys so much for the likes. Thank you so much for the shares. Thank you so much for the follows. I'm the Grace Strega. We are doing all of the horoscopes tonight for the week. Find out what our week is going to look like. Again, if you guys are interested in learning more about these readings, I do offer private readings on my website, gracestrega.com. You can find it in my link tree or go to the website. So far, we have done Leo, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius. If you missed yours, I am streaming this currently on YouTube right now, so it should be available. I believe you can rewind, so you could go check that out. My YouTube is Grace Strega. Same, you can find it on my link tree. All right, and what are we going to do next? I am seeing a lot of Geminis. We won't make the Geminis wait any longer. Again, so this is for Geminis, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So can I get some cards for my Geminis? Woof. Okay, that's good to know. Can I also get 2 more cards for the Geminis, please? Oh, they're being resistant. Oh, my goodness. Oh, boy. Can I get 1 more card, please, for the Geminis? Oh, there's a lot of resistance here, huh? What's going on, Gems? What's going on, my Geminis? What's going on? Oof. Guys, this is a tough retrograde for our Geminis. I'm seeing that there were some difficulties here with these Geminis right now. Geminis. What I'm seeing here is I'm seeing some instability right now that the Geminis are experiencing. And this can kind of hit differently depending on how you connect to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that that's not based on gender, but what you feel closely aligned to. The big issue right now with Geminis is there's something or someone in your life, it might be you, that is causing some feeling of instability in your own security, in your own comfort level, particularly around your tangibles. So things like your home, your job, anything that leaves you feeling secure. I say this because we have a Queen of Pentacles reversed. So there is this element here that makes me feel that this is a more feminine attuned energy, that you might be almost like blaming someone right now. This may be something that was coming from like some kind of, disruption point that occurred during the retrograde, of someone who you feel is making your life have this bit of disruption, causing some extra stress and drama in your life, causing these feelings of instability. And what's doubly difficult here is I feel that whatever chaos has emerged with this scenario or with this individual or with this situation, an ending of some form is imminent. It may be currently happening, or it may be right on the heels of it. You may be coming out of this situation now being like, there is no coming back from this. Whatever occurred during this retrograde, if whatever, it's like, if there is something, and I really feel like this is a situation where you're really kind of considering right now, is there anything left to salvage here? Because we're seeing here not only this Queen of Pentacles energy, which says to me that there is this kind of energy, this energetic person or individual or situation that is causing this disruption point right now in your own feelings of security and stability. But it's like really, it's almost like destroyed something. It's destroyed. This could be a mode of thought. This could be a relationship. This could be just something that has just profoundly come to an end due to this circumstance and situation. It's not much to salvage, really. I mean, honestly, I can see that because it can feel, I'm going to say there may be a feeling of deep grief right now and mourning and accepting this situation right now for what it is. Because what we really see here with the Ten of Swords is really the sense of finality, of saying like, Not even like, not even like they're, not even feeling to a certain extent, like, is there anything? It's like, this feels like whatever was here is gone. It can never come back. The only light I say is, there is kind of this like sunrise in the horizon. So it's like something is ending, and it's not coming back. And I think that the big issue, and I'm getting so many confirmations right now for all of those Geminis in this room. So again, my heart goes out to you, because this is not easy energy. This is not easy energy to be leaving the retrograde through, or even going through this week. I think the place you really need to work on this week, Geminis, if you're experiencing this, is prepare. And this is really interesting, because thank you for the roses, Kristen. We've got double 10 energy around this, which again, we've got Gemini, so it's really remarkable that we've got double 10 energy around our twins. We've got both of the 10s out. One is the 10 of Swords upright, and the other one is the 10 of Wands reversed. The difficulty here, I think, is really coming to terms with the situation. And I want to say to the Geminis, you are having a difficulty with this situation because you are of two minds on it, as you are with many things. And I even see one person who's like, not much left to salvage, really. But I feel like that's the problem with the Geminis right now, in the sense that the Geminis, on one hand, are saying, this is over. There's nothing to be salvaged. But another part of them that says, I don't want to leave. There's nothing left, and I don't want to go. There's nothing left, and I don't want to go. And this is the issue right now with the Geminis, because these are two different scenarios here, right? And I think that the Geminis right now really need to work this week on determining which one of these is actually going to be what you choose to do. Because only you can determine which one of these is true. If something is over, then of course you have to go. But if you don't want to go and you choose to stay, then of course something's not over. This is going to be the challenge for the Geminis this week. It is determining which one is correct, which one is true, which one are you going to take? Because really, this is a matter of perspective. And again, we cannot control what happens in our life, but we can control what we do about it. And this is the challenge that the Geminis are experiencing this week with this disruptive energy. Both of these options, I'd say, are actually on the table for Gemini right now. Whatever you feel is the right one to take is the one you need to head forward in that direction. Choose the one that gives you peace. Choose the one that creates stability. Because clearly there is some energetic force here in your life that is causing this disruption point. Once you do that, things are going to move a lot smoother for you. I am my biggest priority, setting my feelings if a different situation and it's hard. Absolutely. Realizations, it is what it is. I'm different and choose growth and self. It's hard. It's very hard. And especially, I think it's especially this situation is especially hard for the Geminis, because like the Geminis, really good at seeing different perspectives. Really good at seeing different perspectives, got two minds on things. Don't let what we don't want to happen with the Geminis right now is we don't want to have you stuck in a state of limbo, which is going to just cause perpetual continuations of disruptions by not making one of these choices. And that's where you have to be very careful, because then you have to ask yourself, is the person causing the disruption you? Right? It happened that way. Making the choice and sticking to it is going to help you move through this and navigate this in the healthiest way possible. So, and yes, I would agree. There's definitely some time that the Geminis need to give themselves right now in mourning, in collecting their thoughts, in assessing their possibilities, so that they can determine what to do next and which direction to move into. Is this something that you can move forward from? Or is this something that you just have to let go? because we do see that that's at the point. I think for most of the Geminis here, there is going to be an understanding that this is just something that needs to end. I have to say that there is just kind of this, it's almost like, I almost see like both minds arguing about it, but then both of them being like, no, there's nothing. Like there's nothing, and it's not even worth the effort to try to save what's left. So, and that's okay. Sometimes making choices like this, we saw this with like the Virgos are having this problem, making the choice is the hardest decision and then kind of following through on it. Give yourself the time you need. Give yourself the time to grieve. Honor yourself and do what is going to create the most peace and stability in your life. I hope that helps, Gemini. Thank you guys so much for the likes and the shares and the follows. I am the Gray Strega. We are doing all of the horoscopes tonight. I do see people who are asking if I do private readings. I do. I'm so sorry for the individual who said that their friend passed. I'm so sorry for you. I'm wishing you the most healing for you and your family and all of your loved ones right now. I do offer private readings. You can book a private reading on my website, graystrega.com, or the Linktree. I already got the first card coming up for whoever that is. Actually, I will say this is for the person whose friend died. Judgment card says to me, this is confirmation that they are safely on the other side and things are going very well for them. This is an angelic card, which means that they are kind of being safe and protected. So as this came out, as I mentioned that. So as I'm doing these, as I mentioned, I do offer private readings. You can book on my website or go to my Linktree. You're very welcome, Discovering. So I am seeing here that we have gone through the signs. So for those of you who may have missed it, I will also say, if you missed it, don't worry. I'm also streaming right now on YouTube. So you can go to my YouTube, you can find it in my Linktree, and you'll be able to watch what yours was. I'm also, I can try to do a recap at the end if we have time. So far, we have done Leo, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini. So if you want yours done now is the time to put it in that screen. Put it in, put it in, put it in. What do we got here? What do we got? Okay, I am seeing a lot of Capricorn. So we are going to do Capricorn next. So this is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, if you're here in the room, Capricorns, tap that screen. Can I get 3 cards for Capricorn, please? Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. Oof. Okay, can I get 2 more cards, please, for Capricorn? 2 cards for Capricorn. Oh, this one's covered up. Should we keep that covered up? And the 3rd one for Capricorn. Whoop, there it is. Okay, Capricorns. I think that there's, okay, so what's coming out of this, all right, the Capricorns are coming out of this, Kappa Kappa, I like that, Kappa Kappa. I love the Capricorns in my life. They're like the underpinnings of my life. They keep me grounded to the earth. Okay, I have not done Scorpio yet. Okay, so Capricorns, I feel you're coming out of this retrograde in like a difficult place. I feel like there's some circumstance or situation in your life right now where you're really not sure how to proceed and you feel kind of trapped. You feel kind of trapped. You feel kind of trappity trapped. The Cappy Caps are feeling trappity trapped. I will point out, I think you might be over exaggerating how trapped you are in the situation. Okay. I don't mean that in like an offensive way. I just mean it in, I don't think, I mean, Capricorns, you're a little guilty of sometimes worst case scenarioing things. I feel like there is kind of this feeling right now in this of worst case scenarioing because we've got here the 8 of Swords. Now, again, I always point out this is someone who feels like they're in a lot of trouble, or they might be feeling like they're in a sense of peril, but this person's actually pretty protected. Like these swords look terrifying, but they're actually like kind of creating a shield around them. And so there is kind of this message here that really kind of says there is an ability here for the Capricorn to get out of the situation, and they're actually a bit safer than you think you are. But you just don't like the feeling. You don't like the feeling that this situation is creating in you, and it's kind of helping to perpetuate this like victim mentality in you. So I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just want you to recognize whatever it is, it's not as bad as you think it is. Okay, there is a very clear solution to it. And I think that is because there's something about the situation that you don't want to look at. Okay, what's that thing you don't want to look at? That was the thing that was hidden. It's justice reversed. So if there's something right now that is causing some difficulty for you, Capricorn, in your life, I need you to look at it and ask how you can balance it. Because justice reverse tells us that there's something about this situation that is not balanced, that is not fair. And it's not necessarily the issue at play that's causing it, it's the imbalance that needs to be addressed. Once you fix that imbalance, this situation is going to improve itself pretty quickly. I will point that out. The ability here for this to turn around is definitely there. It's definitely apparent. It's very close at hand. But you might not like, here's the thing. I think this is actually what's happening with the caps. I think you don't want to make this decision because maybe the imbalance was more leveraged towards your side. And that's why you don't want to make the decision. You don't want to kind of look at it because whatever the circumstances, somebody might be saying it's a little unfair. And maybe you don't want to look at the fact that, like, yeah, I guess if you look at it that way, if you hear what they said, then yes, that would look pretty unfair. And so that's really what we're seeing here with it, the situation, Capricorns. I think that's why you might be having a little bit of this victim mentality happening around this right now. No offense to the Capricorns, I'm meaning this in like the most loving way possible. But yeah, maybe, I think that this is one of these situations where you're like, yeah, maybe they have a point. I don't want to like look at the point that they're making. Yeah, no, no. I have no choice. I have to be like, so I want you to kind of think about that right now, Capricorn. Ask yourself, what would be the yeah, I like Allison's answer. Yes, but no, maybe. Yeah. So yeah, so that correcting this imbalance is going to fix the situation really quickly. And I'm also getting double confirmation on this because the other card we have around this is another big card, which is the Hierophant reversed, which says to me that there's some contractual thing here, something that has to break the convention a little bit in order to be fair and balanced. I think that this is also like kind of why the Capricorns are feeling kind of in the right here, because I feel like there's something that like on paper is like, no, my logic in this is sound. And it's like, yeah, it's sound, but it's not fair, right? Like the logic is sound, but is it fair? Oh, thank you so much, Catherine. And I think that this is like these are some big ethical questions that like the Capricorns are dealing with right now. Like this is what they're facing. And I think that that's really where this like desire not to do anything is, or this desire not to really look at it, because these are some big decisions to make. And I feel like Capricorns understand that, in order to potentially make this situation a bit more fair and balanced, it might not be leveraged so much in their favor, but it'll make life profoundly easier for you right now, Capricorns. I will point that out because I can see that this is causing you a lot of stress and anxiety. So just keep that in mind. Capricorns, I hope that helps. That's a fun one. That was like I think that's my favorite one so far. It's a funny little situation that we find. I'm trying so hard to move forward, but it's trap after trap after trap. My goodness, when does it end? Well, I will say, dear, we are coming out of the retrograde, so I'm not surprised to see that kind of feeling right now. This was a very difficult retrograde. We saw a lot, again, even in my daily card readings. You may see go to my profile. I pulled more reversed court cards. All the court cards I pulled during this retrograde were reversed, which means miscommunication and misunderstandings were just running rampant. I will also point out that during the retrograde period, this is our reset moment. This is for us to see things in our life that are not fair and balanced. Things are revealed to us in these moments that allow us to make better determinations moving forward. And sometimes we need to, I like to point out, We always blame the retrograde for breaking our toaster instead of thanking the retrograde for getting us a brand new shiny toaster, right? That's how we get the brand new shiny toaster. All right, guys. So for anyone who's joining, thank you guys so much for joining. Thank you guys so much for the likes, the shares, the follows, the gifts. I love them. They make me so happy. I'm a Leo. I love gifts. So for those of you who are joining, I'm the Grace Strega. We're doing all the horoscopes tonight. If anyone's interested in a private reading, I do offer private readings. You can find them on my website, gracestrega.com. Link in my profile on my link tree. I will read the signs off that we've done so far. If we've already done your sign, don't worry. Just go to my YouTube, same name as here, and you will be able to find the recording of this because we are also streaming live over there. So I do see on YouTube, Zolma as asking if I did Libra. I have not done Libra yet. So hello to those joining on YouTube, as well as those on TikTok. So, oh, you're so welcome, Allison. All right. Thank you guys so much for the follows. All right. So for those of you who missed it, so far we have done Leo, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Capricorns. We are rounding up to the end. We got 3 left. So if I have not said yours, now is the time to put yours in there and we will do it next. And I am seeing Libras all over the place. So Libra is next. What do we have for Libras? Happy birthday to the Libras. Oh, there's that card again, but now we have it upright. All right, cool. What else do we have for Libras? 2 more, please. Can I have 2 more, please? 2 more for Libra. Oh, resistance. Resistance. 2 more for Libra, please. Oh, there's the other one. I have 1 more for Libra, please. Whoop. Oh, interesting. Okay, so Libra, sun, moon, and rising. If you are in the room, tap that screen. Show me some love. All right, so look what decided to show up again. We just saw this card with Capricorn, but it was reversed. This time it's upright. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Audrey and Kaylee, for the roses. So what are we seeing for Libras? Libra, you know why I know it's your season? You know why I know it's your season? Because babes, here's your card. We got your justice card. We got the scales coming up right now. You are in your season. You are in your element. Thank you guys so much for the follows. You Libras they are in their moment right now. And what do Libras want? Libras want balance. Libras are concentrating on coming out of this retrograde with a higher sense of balance. And they're going to be able to have that to a certain degree because they're in their element right now because it's their season. There is something going on under the surface, though, which is probably something that was addressed during the retrograde that they're still dealing with, that they don't want to really tell everybody about. And why are Libras so concerned with balance right now? Because there is something that occurred during the retrograde that brought up some disharmony as it relates to their family, their overall sense of future planning, their overall sense of future scenarios where things are going well. There's some kind of fracturing point. Something happened. Thank you so much for the roses, Audrey. Something happened. It's probably still happening at the moment. There's something under the surface that is almost like, it's like the fly in the ointment right now as it relates to Libra's plans for the future, Libra's idealized future scenarios, Libra's ideas around family and the future that they want to build right now that feels out of balance. And it's this anxiety point which has got Libra so focused on trying to restore this balance in their life. Now, there is something right now that Libras can do to help address this, and this is why it's so difficult. Libras right now need to focus on healing any toxicity in their life, and that includes toxicity that could be coming from the Libras. Okay? Now, here's the thing with the Libras right now. The Libras may have discovered, sometimes when we find balance, we suddenly realize that there are things in our life that we depend on balance for, that we suddenly realize are not necessarily giving us balance, maybe causing imbalance. But we feel very closely connected to them. We have a difficulty breaking free from them. The Libras right now are realizing and trying to recognize those things in their life that are toxic behaviors that they need to improve upon, that they need to resolve for this happier future. Because right now, this really says to me that there is some toxicity. This could be the revelation during the retrograde of bad habits, of non-positive connections, of bad modalities of thought, maybe even vices or addictions that has come to the forefront of the Libra's mind. And they're now recognizing it. Something during the retrograde made them say, I need this. I need to repair this. There's something that needs to be repaired and restored in my life. And it needs to be addressed because there's something about that now when Libra looks and tries to foresee this possible desired future outcome, they just don't see it as well as they can because this is acting as a blocker. So there is a deep need right now for Libras to really address anything in their life that feels that it's causing an imbalance. And this is a beautiful time for the Libras to be doing this right now because they're in their element, because they are in the place where they are going to have so much success balancing because it is their season. So this is a beautiful time for Libras to be addressing this. And I will say that there is a huge possibility for this to be a healing journey, right? Because this is not an upright devil card. This is a reverse devil card, which says to us that this is something that the Libras have actively recognized, and they're being offered the opportunity to fix. And that's where the Libras find themselves right now. Thank you so much for the roses, Audrey. If you guys are resonating with this, please tap that screen. Please let me know. Please share that love. Libras, this is I will say this is a beautiful example of things that come to a glaringly obvious recognition during the retrograde that give you an opportunity to fix it moving forward. So as difficult as this may have been to discover during the retrograde, remember that this is a possibility for a new outcome. That now that you recognize a bad pattern in your life, you have to recognize a bad pattern in order to repair a bad pattern. And this is what you're having right now. You have this opportunity before you. Don't waste it. Do it. You got the time. You've got the ability. This is what you're good at. You're good at balancing. Use those powers to fix this situation because I'm seeing here that it's definitely something you can fix. Libras, I hope that helped. I know you got this. All right, guys. So we've got Libra in the can. All right. Hello, everyone joining. Thank you guys so much for the likes, the shares, the follows. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. You guys are great. I love doing this. This is the second time I'm doing this here. I really think we should keep doing it as a Monday night thing because I love it. I hope you guys love it as well. I will also say, Libras, when I'm getting double confirmation that this is something that you can fix. I'm also getting confirmation that this might have to do with a lot of the Libras with toxic connections in their lives as it relates to relationships or passion. So this could be where a lot of that toxicity might be coming from for a lot of the Libras in the room around that devil energy. So it might be the devil you know kind of situation. So again, there's people in your life that are creating these toxic connections. That's something also with an opportunity to repair, restore, to fix, or to remove. So thank you guys again so much for the likes, the shares, the follows. I am the Grace Strega. We are doing all of the horoscopes tonight. If you are interested, if these are resonating with you, I do offer private readings. You can find them on my website, gracestrega.com. You can also find them. You can also book through my link tree. For those of you who may have already missed your sign, never fear, because I am currently streaming this on YouTube and it will be available. You can probably go back now. I believe you can rewind. I'm not really great with it yet. I'm still learning the ropes. But so far, we have done Leo, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Capricorn, and Libras. We've got 2 left. If I did not say your sign, now is the time to say it in that screen so that we can get to it. All right, guys, who is next? Who is next? Whatever I see next is going to be next. Aquarius is next. All right. All right. What do we have for our Aquariuses right now? Woof. There's the first one right off the bat. That's a good sign for the beginning of the retrograde coming out of it. All right. What else do we have out of the retrograde for Aquarius? 2 more cards, please. Oh, hey. Interesting. And can I get 1 more for Aquarius, please? Oh, that's nice. Okay, cool. All right, so Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising. If you are in the room, please tap that screen. Let me know you are here. Aquarius, I feel like you are coming out of whatever was blocking you during this retrograde. You are, again, much like the Aries, much like the Sag, you are just raring to go. A little bit more uncertain about how to proceed, but your ambition is going to make up for any lack of knowledge in this area. And we see that with the Page of Swords energy. So there is something right now in your life that's got you very eager to start, very eager to move forward. And it's exciting. There's something about this that has this air of excitement and vitality to it. That's really kind of, it's really kind of almost, it's got you in such like a good, it's like such a good Aquarian energy to be in, because it's almost like this daydreaming energy, like, but it's daydreaming energy, but like with a direction. Like you're like, oh, I know what I'm doing in this. Like I know what I want to do. And it's got you kind of daydreaming about like all of the things around it, putting you in this like really excited headspace. Now, what is that? Well, interestingly, and again, this is going to hit a little bit different depending on how you connect to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that's not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. There is a energy around you right now that's potentially even more feminine inclined. And I feel that there's been some conflict or there's been some barrier between you and this other person. This could have very well been happening during the retrograde. That barrier is down this week. That barrier is down. Whatever was causing it, this person's conceding. This person isn't going to fight you so much anymore on whatever this was, and you're going to be able to move forward on it. I am sensing that this could have a lot to do right now between any conflicts that Aquariuses were having in partnerships, could be intimate or work-related, anything that was kind of a partnership, because we do see the partnership here of the Page of Swords with the Queen of Swords reversed, which says to me that these are 2 people that have been butting heads the whole retrograde. And something as it came, a new wind is going to come in this week, and you're suddenly going to feel like, wow, the barrier is gone. This person has just made it's almost going to feel like a 180 energy, like someone who's just been pushing against you and been like, no, 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 no. It's like, boom, retrograde's over. Person's like, okay, sure. Like, and so I think that it's going to be, yeah, it could feel, I mean, again, I'm not big on twin flame energy, but there's definitely some kind of karmic harmony here between these 2 people. Doesn't necessarily need to be romantic. There's definitely kind of a meeting of the minds between these 2. This says to me that there was probably some argument that they were having. One person's conceding. It's probably the more who's female inclined in the partnership situation. And it's this easing of the temperature. It's the easing of the fight. It's like someone was just like, I don't want to fight anymore. I don't want to fight anymore. It's almost like kind of that. And that is what's allowing things to move forward right now for Aquarius. And I think that what we're going to see is it's actually going to be a very good week for Aquarius for this reason. Oh, thank you so much, Marbella, for the gift. What we're really going to see, oh, and thank you for becoming my top viewer. What we're really going to see right now with the Aquarians is now that this blocker that was occurring during the retrograde is out of the way, everything is going to be positive again for them. Everything is just going to turn around. Everything is going to be moving graciously again. And this says to me that this could happen very quickly this week. If Aquarians found themselves in any kind of like dispute or having this like pushback on something right now, just allow it. Again, the only thing I'd say, and this is the only thing I'd stress right now to the Aquarians, because one thing I do see is a disharmony here between somebody who's like, I don't want to fight anymore, and the other person's like, I have a sword. So just remember, Don't cause fights where fights don't exist. I know you get in your moment. I know you want to like have your like, I know you want to have your like sword rattling moment here. Maybe if somebody concedes, don't need to like hang it over their head or do a little like victory dance. Just be like, okay, good. I'm glad we're able to see eye to eye here. Because what I really see that needs to happen here, and I think that this is what the Aquarians need to concentrate on this week with any issues like around this. It's not the time to wave your sword around, not time to be like, I was right. It's really the time to work on the relationship and your own relationship, and also being able to hold empathy for other people, to hold the emotional bandwidth for those around you who may be hurting or may need an empathetic ear, or just may need you to like kind of be like conciliatory and help them in their own act of trying to be conciliatory. Because we see here, we've got a strong Ace of Cups here, which says to me that I have every hope that you will acknowledge this and be able to provide it. But just keep that in mind as you go through this week. Really, for me, the watchword for Aquarians this week is really emotional support. Emotional support, not just for other people, but also for yourself. Because when we leave room for emotional support for other people, we leave room for emotional support for ourselves. We fill up our own cup, we fill up the cups of those around us in the process. I want the Aquarians to kind of work on not being so much in their headspace, not like throwing those intellectual barbs this week, really trying to operate from a place of empathy and hearing and gratitude, because this is a huge sign that if you're able to provide this week, it's going to come back to you like tenfold. This is really kind of one of those things like you put in a penny, you're going to get a pound back. Like you're going to get all of this back so long as you are able to create that place where you can hold someone's emotions, where you can be the good listener. When if someone says they're sorry, you gracefully accept their apology. You don't say like, it's not good enough. Like, try better. Like this, thank you so much for the gift, Millennia. This is really the moment that you can show how great you are with that sword, but being like, look how magnificent I am. Look how willing I am to work with you. Like allow that to kind of embody you this week. And you're going to I feel like there's going to be a lot of emotional success and a deep sense of accomplishment and gratitude around this week for the Aquarians who are able to embody this energy. Aquarians, I hope that has helped you. Thank you so much, guys, for the likes. Thank you so much for the shares. Thank you so much for the follows. I am so happy to be here with you guys tonight. I am the Great Strega. If you are just tuning in, we are doing the horoscopes with tarot. We have done a lot of them already tonight. And I can see the ones that are left because everyone's shouting their names. I will point out, as I do offer private readings. So if you like anything you've heard here, please feel free to go to my site. I do have some availability left this week, graystrega.com. You can find the link in my link tree. Also, if I have already done your sign, because I'm going to read them all off now, never fear, because I'm also streaming right now on YouTube. Same name as this profile. You should be able to find the whole recording there. You can rewind back to where yours was. I'll try to give a little summary or recap at the close of this for anybody who missed them, just to help you out. So for those of you who missed it, here are the signs that we have done so far. Leo, Cancer, Aries, Taurus, Pisces, Virgos, Sagittarius, Gemini, Capricorn, Libras, and Aquarius. That leaves one left. So patient for them to wait this long. I can see them shouting in the comments on TikTok. And that is our beautiful Scorpio. Thank you so much for following me, guys. All right, so what do we have for Scorpios right now? Can I get some cards? Oh, wow. I'm surprised you guys were so patient. Best for last. That's right. All right. Can I please get 2 more cards for Scorpio? Please. 2 more for Scorpio. What do we have here? 2 for Scorpio, please. Ooh. Whoa. Wow. What have you been up to, Scorpio? What have you been up to? Thank you guys so much for the roses. Thank you for the roses, Brandy. Can I please? Whoa. Oh, my goodness gracious. Scorpio. Dear me. Oh, my. What on earth? Best for last, indeed. Most complicated for last is really what's happening. Most complicated for last. Oh, Scorpio. So what happened during the retrograde, Scorpio? Because what I'm really seeing here is I'm seeing that for the Scorpios, something occurred during the retrograde that felt like it deeply impacted a partnership. Like, oh, you did tune in right in time. Well done. Very good timing for Scorpio. That's very scorpionic timing. Something was made abundantly clear. Oh God, now the Scorpios are going, it was rough, it was horrible. Oh, I'm so sorry. Guys, we're gonna have to talk about this because this is a lot. Um, Listen, I'm gonna say it again. The retrograde is not here to destroy your life. The retrograde does not create problems. The retrograde puts a spotlight on problems that existed that we may not have been able to see. Thank you so much for the gift, Brandy. Whatever disruption you are discovering in your partnership, it's not like it just got created during the retrograde. It was just brought to the surface during the retrograde. Okay. And it feels like a deep fracturing. There's something here that's a fracturing. And I will say, this is what I think the fracturing is. And I've got this because I can't, guys, I've got 3 2s here. All the cards right now for Scorpio are all 2 cards. It's crazy. So this says to me, partnership and the decisions on that partnership are the focal point of the Scorpionics' minds right now. There's something deeply important happening right now with Scorpios and their partners. And that has to do something, I think some of the disruption point here has to do with future planning and what you guys see that future being. I see that because not only do we have the 2 of Cups reversed, we've got the 2 of Wands transverse, which says to me that I think the issue that came to play was not necessarily the fact that these 2 can't get along. It's that suddenly something about the future plans that they both have. It's almost like they both thought, it's like you thought that you and your baby or you and your pal or your bestie had like the same plan. Like, oh, this is what we're going to do. And somebody was like, that's not what we're going to do. No, we're going to do this. We're going to go do that. And you're like, that was never the plan. We were clearly going to do this. And the other person's like, no, we were clearly going to do this. And it is that fracturing point that is causing so many disruptions right now. Okay. And it's difficult because it really does feel like you guys have suddenly hit this like bisecting point. And it's like, it's not even like a personal thing. It's really just like, no, I really want to do this. No, I really want to do this. And the 2 of you are like, oh, frig. What do we do now? Because these are taking us into exactly totally different directions now, as Melcast just said. And again, apparently this is hitting every single Scorpio in the room. Guys, what happened? Okay, wow. Again, lesson learned for the future. You need to start talking about this a bit earlier. I know the Scorpions are like, let's see where the wind takes us. No, we don't do that anymore. We talk about the plans early on. Talk about the plans early on. I will also say that the 2 of Wands is frequently the card that comes up for me when something around digital is at play. So this might even be happening. Like there might even have been like a text conversation that's like bifurcated in a way that like was not expected. Like I feel like a lot of this might even be happening like over text. Guys, this is hard. This is a big one. This is a big one for Scorpios because and I think yeah, I see somebody just wrote off because of a stupid text from a baby daddy. Again, this is what I mean. Like I feel like everything was copacetic and then something happened and everything's like, oh no, like everything um everything is just everybody's just kind of doing whatever they want. So here's the thing, Scorpio, I need to stress this. This is really a moment that's going to be a deep challenge for you because it really is a moment that's going to make you have to look with a very scrutinous eye on your own internal spiritual journey, which I know for Scorpios is very important. And what's difficult about that is I feel that often Scorpios don't directly look at this journey for themselves. Like they're always Scorpios are always on this journey, but to have to actually look at their spiritual journey from a practical lens is why this is happening to the Scorpios and why it came up during the retrograde. Because it's almost like the Scorpios want to like keep their spiritual lives, their spiritual center in like this little box away from their life and then have their life. And what's happened now is it's almost like the Scorpios are going to have to reach into their spiritual center. They're going to have to reach into their spiritual box and say, there's no good decision here. They're both valid points. There's totally good reasons for either one of these options. What am I spiritually called to do? That's going to be the driving factor right now for Scorpios. And I see that every single Scorpio in the room still has no idea what that is. And that's going to be the struggle this week, is getting in tune with that. I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be the solution to the problem. It might not be the solution everybody likes, but it's going to be the one that makes you feel at ease. But you need to focus on that. You need to take this problem, because here's the third two we've got. High Priestess energy, 3 2s on the board, this one being the highest one. So this is like the highest. It's like almost like we watch the 2s get higher and higher. This is how you're going to make this difficult decision as it relates to your partnerships. It's not going to be looking at the other person. It's going to be going inwards. Scorpios in this room right now need to take some very serious time this week in deep meditation, in deep contemplation, to really ask themselves, what is my spiritual path? What is my higher purpose? What is my higher calling? And can I serve that calling in this partnership with this person, doing this or doing that? And I think that is going to be the thing that is either, and that's why everything is in flux, because depending on the Scorpio you are in this room, it could go either way at this point. For some of you, you might be like, okay, you know what? I can go there. We can go to France. We can go do this. We can do that. I can do that and still fulfill my spiritual calling. And I feel that some people are going to say the opposite here. And they're going to say, I'm sorry, I can't go on that journey with you. I can't make that life choice. I can't head in that direction with this. I can't go in the trajectory of this relationship that you anticipated for us, because that is not where my journey internally, spiritually, is taking me. That's not why I'm here. And if the Scorpios can find, and this is good, this is very much a very Scorpionic journey. This is why I would stay for last, because it's a big one. If the Scorpios can take this journey, it's going to be a big monumental moment for them, because there's going to not only be a decision made, but there's going to be a lot of deep internal work that's reached in terms of your own path, in terms of your own self. So again, beautiful message, exactly why we say thank you to the retrograde, because this is a disaster that's leading you to a higher sense of enlightenment. It feels like it's a disaster, and it's leading you to enlightenment. If you're all by yourself, I think that something came up potentially around the retrograde period right now that made you question how partnerships are framed for you in the future, what kind of partnerships you want. Something was made clear during the retrograde that made you rethink maybe your own ideas or thoughts or plans on partnerships or future partnerships, or the type of people you want to be in partnership, or how you want that partnership to play out. This does not necessarily mean that you are currently in a partnership. That's what I would also interpret if you are not in a partnership and you're experiencing this message as a Scorpio right now. There's something happening right now that's making you refocus, recenter, realign how and what you expect or plan for partnerships moving forward. Really interesting journey. Very big decisions. Very good. Again, huge time this week. Do that inner work this week, Scorpios. It's gonna help you profoundly to articulate what you want, and also to be able to say it from a place of authenticity. You know, be like, this is what I need. Well, guys, we did it. We went through all of the zodiac signs. So I will do my best to try to recap, because I see a lot of people asking me questions. For those who missed it, I will point out, I'll do my best to do a quick summary. We've got a few minutes here left. Oh, just further clarification for the Scorpios right now. Um, don't feel like you have to rush on this. I know you want to get out of the situation. You need to think about this. Take the time, even if it's uncomfortable, because there's some kind of insight coming to you, even with this difficult position. Scorpio here. We're stressing my life right now with my decision and my partner nailed it. Yeah, I'm so glad to be getting, it's actually remarkable because it's a very specific message and I can't believe the minute I said it, literally every Scorpio in the room was like, yes. So, oh boy. Um, but yeah, that's a big journey for the Scorpios right now. And there's definitely a huge choice, could even be could even be two different partners for some of you. You know who you are. I'm not gonna say anything if that's you. Shh. All right. Um, all right, Lilani, we did Capricorn. So Capricorn had I think the funniest message of the night. Um, oh, you're 222 in the viewers list. Cool. The Capricorn's message was really interesting because the Capricorn's message was really one that said basically, the Capricorns feel like they're trapped in some situation. There's this kind of feeling like you're in a bit of feeling like a bit of a victim. But what's really happening is there's some kind of imbalance that has been brought to the attention of the Capricorns right now. And the Capricorns almost don't even want to recognize it as such because the truth is that the imbalance kind of leverages more in their favor. And it's going to make them have to reconsider something to correct the balance that they might not want to reconsider because they like the fact that it leans a little bit more in your favor, which is why, you're kind of doing this thing where you're like, no, I'm the victim here. It's like, but you also kind of maybe get why the other person involved might not think that's the case or why someone on the outside might see more of an imbalance. So that's definitely something we saw with the Capricorns. It was very funny. No, we don't, lol. Yeah, exactly. Very funny. So, it's a very sweet message for the Capricorn. Just like, really? So Cancer, what was Cancer? So Cancer's message was one, I believe, I'm trying to recall. They were the second one we did. So Cancer was moving in the opposite direction of Leo because Leo was needed to make a choice and they didn't want to make a choice. Cancers had come to a place where they were totally willing to move forward and make a choice. And that choice was actually going to allow them to move out of this retrograde pretty adroitly. Um, you'll have to forgive me. That was very early on. That was our second one. So again, definitely if you go to the YouTube, you can get the full reading for Cancer. Make sure I'm accurate and remembering correctly. Or if any Cancers are still in the room that got the reading, feel free to comment about it or clarify if I said it right or wrong. First time here, I did do Gemini. Gemini are going through a lot. What was on Gemini was very difficult because what we saw with the Geminis was the fact that something happened in the retrograde where something or someone caused a huge disruption in the life of the Gemini, like a very tangible disruption because we got a Queen of Pentacles reversed. And whatever that disruption point was, it's really kind of a feeling where the Geminis feel that there's no coming back from it, that whatever it was before this issue has it's forever changed and maybe even demolished the circumstance or situation. And Geminis are struggling to figure out if there's a way forward from it, but there's feelings of a lot of doubt, even for being of two minds on it for the Geminis. It's very much leaning that the Gemini kind of recognizes that this is kind of like a territory of no return, and there's not much, it's a question of there doesn't seem to be much to salvage. Mama, like you said, like a death. Here's the thing. It could be something as final as a death or an ending. That to me, the ten of swords it's interesting for the way my family reads. The death card isn't the death card. The 10 of swords is much more of a conclusive finality point than the death card, which is more of a card of transformation. And that's what I mean with the Geminis when looking at this and being like, no, this is something is done. because it's not even looking at something that's changing. It's something that is final. It's over. It's there's nothing, effectively dead. It could There are moments sometimes in certain readings where that could be interpreted as an actual loss. I've had that happen in readings as well. You're so welcome, dear. Uh, everyone's asking about cancers. I'm so sorry, cancers. You guys were the second ones. And I see the fact that the cancers were, I believe they were coming out of their shell. Like again, I'm having the cancers had a very full reading. It was the second one though. So if you go back to my YouTube, you can kind of catch the whole thing. I did all of the signs. Libra is coming into a place right now that's actually very good for Libras because we got justice around Libra as their first card, which means that there is this moment right now with Libras where you're really in your power in terms of trying to balance your life. The issue with the Libras right now was the fact that during the retrograde, there was some imbalance that was brought to the forefront in the Libra's mind as it relates to their kind of overall general happiness, particularly in future planning. And it's made the Libras have to address some toxic element in their life. So this could be a bad habit, this could be a bad relationship, this could even be a vice or an addiction that really requires some deep healing to be fully addressed to allow this to be solved. I will say though that Libras are in a place where they're like so effective to be able to do this right now because they're in their kind of power during Libra season. Aries, if I remember, Aries are moving out of this retrograde in a really good place because we've got full reverse that we pulled on them, which says that the Aries are really kind of gunning into these new opportunities. There were two signs that had huge recommendations not to wait on things. It was two of the fire signs. The only fire sign that was coming out of this retrograde in like a banged up place was the Leos. Aries and Sagittarius are coming out with huge pentacle energy, which says, get it done this week. Don't wait. Anything that you've been holding off or putting off, if you're an Aries or Sagittarius, they have remarkably similar readings. This is the week to do it because you are in your power this week coming out of this retrograde. And particularly with the Aries, because not only did the Aries have the full reverse, but they also had the Emperor, which mean again, Aries like pulled their own card, which says to us that Aries are really kind of in a powerful moment right now. And they're gonna be able to get a lot accomplished this week if they put their minds to it. My best advice for Libras, this was a weekly reading, so I'm doing these every week. My best advice for Libras this week, any toxicity that you discovered over the retrograde period, I want you to really look at your life and ask yourself, is there something toxic that needs to be addressed in your life that's causing any feelings of imbalance? Because Libras need those balances. Hi, Bailey. I see you on YouTube. You're asking about Leo. So Leo is coming out of this. I feel bad. Leo is the most banged up coming out of a fire sign coming out of the retrograde right now. Because the problem with Leos is Leos need to focus right now on their own self, on their own feelings of contentment and security. But there's something blocking that, and that is their inability to let go of something that's causing a lot of pain and problems in their life. Leos need to recognize right now through the retrograde's lessons that there is something that they need to move away from if it's causing a clear and present disruption point in their overall joy and happiness in their day-to-day life. Rough message for Leo. I'm a Leo. I feel it doubly so. Everybody's asking me for the Cancer reading. Oh my gosh, why can't I remember the Cancer reading? It's so funny. It's like a little blind spot in my head. So the Cancer reading, I'm sorry, it was the second one I did. I believe the Cancers were having, and again, if you go back to the YouTube has it, the whole reading there. The Cancers reading was one that really said the Cancers need to come out of their shell, that they're moving into a place where they are kind of being more forthright, and it's actually a very positive place for the Cancers to be coming from right now. It's also requiring, I think, the Cancers to be more emotionally present than they're typically used to, which can be a bit of a challenge right now. more Leo. That was the big message for Leos. Like the Leos, babes, this week, it's just you gotta let go of that thing that's causing you dated. If there's something right now that's causing grief to the Leos, like on a daily basis, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. That's all it is. And any disruption that Leos are feeling right now is because the Leos don't want to let go. And it's just really, Leos are still having a hard time coming to terms with the retrograde lessons because I think whatever it was, I think the Leos know exactly what they need to remove from their life right now that's causing so much disruption. The Capricorns was the funniest. I've already said it several times. The problem with the Capricorns are in this moment right now where they're feeling like they're in this like crisis point and things aren't working out for them. But really, it's not, it's if things aren't working out for Capricorns right now, you need to ask yourself there's some imbalance in your life, and correcting that imbalance would probably fix the situation. But we saw that the resistance with the Capricorns is they don't necessarily want to fix the situation because it's leveraged more in their favor. So it's asking you to like try to put on some more external optics so that you can kind of see how other people might be experiencing that. Virgos are having a really hard time, and Virgos are kind of going through almost, it's like Virgos are going through what the Leos are going through, but like 10 times worse. Virgo's got more cards out than any other sign. So there's some big lessons that were coming out of the retrograde for Virgo. And there is some, when I said, like I said earlier, like the Leos need to make a decision to make their day-to-day life better. The Virgos are choosing not to go make a choice on something that is so big. And it's problematic because the thing is that we saw confirmation that once the Virgos make the decision to walk away from something that is not serving them, everything is going to click into place, like very quickly for the Virgos. But the Virgos are so reluctant to walking away, to making this choice that they almost know they have to make it, but they're so reluctant to it right now that it's blocking all of these blessings to come through. So any Virgo right now that's sitting on a hard decision, like I definitely say this week, go for it, because you're going to almost like immediately see a restoration in yourself once you do. And I feel like this is something you've been sitting on for quite a while. Sag is in the same place as Sag and Aries are coming out of this like gangbusters. Like we got this almost the same cards for Sag and Aries. You're coming out of this like a lot of opportunities for Sag this week. Huge signs for Sag and Aries not to sit on anything. Get as much done this week as you can, because there's like immediately Ace of Pentacles. It's funny too because my nose started itching, so it's like money based. Like there's a lot of money on the table for Sagittarius and Aries right now. And a lot of opportunities. So if there's any opportunities right now that you've been waiting on, don't procrastinate, because we saw Magician with Ace of Pentacles, which says you have a lot of ability to bring those offers in sooner rather than later. Everybody's asking about Cancer. I'm kicking myself. I can't remember. I'm having a real hard time remembering the Cancer message. There were secrets involved though. Again, if you go, it's probably why, because sometimes when there's secrets involved, I have a hard time remembering the message. Go back to the YouTube. It's streaming now, and you'll be able to see the full Cancer message. But we saw Cancers coming out of this retrograde in a good place. And we did see the fact that when Cancers move forward, I think that's what we said. We said Cancers were making the decision that the Leos were making, but they were just making the decision. And they were almost like immediately seeing better things because of it. There are a lot of decisions based on this week's zodiacs. YouTube name is the same as my name. It's Grace Strega. And you can also find it if you go to the link tree in my profile. You can find it right there. Libra's message was Libras, again, a really beautiful message for Libras right now. You guys are in your power. There's some disruption point in your life that you discovered during the retrograde. You really need to work on correcting whatever toxic behaviors might be within or around you right now that's causing that imbalance or making it hard for you to imagine a future positive scenario as it relates to the circumstances and situation. Gemini, having a really hard time coming out of this because there's some energy in the Gemini's life that was discovered Thank you so much for the gift, Carla. There was some energy discovered during the Gemini's retrograde that was causing a huge disruption point in their work, in like their work-life balance. And it's whatever occurred was such a huge disruption point in their life that it's almost like a point of no return in this, like almost like Geminis have two minds, and both minds are kind of like, I don't see any way to come out of this. Like, I feel like one half of the Gemini is trying to figure out a way to like move forward from this point in a positive way, but we're just not seeing that as a possibility. Scorpio had a crazy message. It was the last one. Thank you so much for the follow, Aaron. Scorpio's message was really one all around partnerships. Something happened with the Scorpios who were in the room, and it was crazy because all the Scorpios like confirmed it, where something profoundly important got discovered during the retrograde around partnerships. And it may be that if you're in a partnership, that you and the person you're in this partnership with have two very different opinions on where you guys are going moving forward. And as a result, it's kind of thrown everything into a tailspin because it's such a huge departure for the two of you. It's not even like, wasn't even like two people like two different like things happening. And there's a high priestess transverse, which really says the Scorpios this week need to really do that inner work to determine what their spiritual path is. Finding the spiritual path is going to guide them on making the determination on how to move the relationship moving forward. If you're not in a relationship, it's something about partnerships and your way of considering them. And that's the decision you have to make this week. Aquarius, we saw the fact that there was some dispute happening potentially around partnership energy. There's some dispute happening over the retrograde this week. Somebody's going to come forward in an act of conciliation or apology, most likely the more feminine of the two energies, bearing in mind that that's not based on gender, but what you feel aligned to. Just a reminder for the Aquarius not to kind of like get on their high horse about it too much, but to really try to embody Ace of Cups energy. So be as emotive and responsible with your feelings and also supporting the feelings of others so that you can move from a place of gratitude and repair. And if you're able to do that, you're going to have a huge amount of emotional success this week in repairing that issue. I do these based on sun, moon, and rising. So I feel my experience is that depending on the individual, people feel more closely associated with different aspects of themselves. So I really leave it to you to determine. I always recommend, like for me, I always listen when I do these. I always listen to my rising and my sun. That's always kind of where I start. So my sign, I am a Leo sun, I am a Sag moon, and I am an Aries rising. So I am a triple fire sign. And I feel that. I feel the message of, I definitely feel all three messages. There's a lot I need to get done this week. And I also have to like accept the fact that like as a Leo, that there are things in my life that are only causing me pain that I need to move away from. So yay! Woo! Taurus's message. Taurus's message was that was also like one of the first ones we did. Taurus had a lot of cards come out. There was a lot of toxicity. So Taurus, we saw that Taurus is operating under the surface right now because there was some issue that Taurus had like a really there's some issue that occurred during the retrograde that caused a lot of conflict for the Taurus. And I see that you guys are operating kind of under, like almost under the cover of night right now. You're trying to move through this week like very low key, particularly around this like dispute or issue you're experiencing, because you just don't want to fight. You don't want to fight this week because you want to you're really focusing right now on your job, your work, like other things beyond this area. You're also feeling incredibly guarded. And the message we had for Taurus is locking yourself up, nursing your wounds is not going to be the solution to that situation. Because clearly, if you want to de-escalate a situation where someone feels that you were taking advantage or you were taking advantage or there was a lot of conflict involved, going off to yourself and nursing your wounds isn't how you're going to fix that. That's just ignoring the problem. So that was something that we wanted to point out to the Taurus that they may want to have to go back and try to repair that situation if you don't want to fight. Because that's really what we see the Taurus saying more than anything right now coming out of this retrograde was like the Taurus being like, I don't want to fight anymore. But you also have to accept your responsibility in it because we also saw the Taurus carrying the fight because you're the ones carrying all the swords in the Seven of Sword energy. Pisces are doing actually really good right now. Pisces, we saw the fact that Pisces took the lessons of the retrograde in Pisces were feeling very secure right now with their bag. There's something about their life right now. There is this higher sense of security around like the tangibles in their life. And rather than everybody else, which was saying like, leave a situation, remove this from your life, walk away from something, Pisces are swimming the opposite way up the stream. And Pisces instead are like, I was going to remove myself from a situation, but now I am choosing to stay. I'm choosing to stay because I feel more secure. And I'm willing to fight for the things that I want to fight for, which was a really beautiful message to see around the Pisces. So Capricorn was very funny because I keep pointing out the Capricorn's message was one where the Capricorns were basically, there's something right now that's got Capricorns feeling very much like in kind of this victim mentality where they feel like they're being kind of, like they're being picked on or like nobody's kind of like helping them. But the thing is, there's some kind of issue that came up during the retrograde that has to do with balance. And what's really happening is there's some kind of imbalance that was brought to the Capricorn's attention. And Capricorns, you might need to put a little bit better optics on it because what we're really seeing is the reason you don't want to look at the imbalance is it kind of takes power from you to fix it. Which is why you're kind of in this place where you're just looking at it from like the victim mentality. So Sagittarius had very similar messages. This is a week to get stuff done. You guys are coming out of it. Huge place of power right now. Get as much stuff you can done this week because you're gonna have a lot of success in it. Anything you do this week. Leo, most banged up of the fire signs. Leo's message right now is to really focus on yourself, your home, your sense of comfort, the things in your life that support you and make you feel at home and safe and secure. The problem with Leos is they did not learn the message from the retrograde. There's something that was brought clearly into Leo's perception that they need to let go of because it is hurting them. And Leos don't want to let go of it. So it's doing the opposite of what Leos need to do this week, which is Leos need to embody and understand those lessons. So Leo's being very resistant to the lessons. Leo and Virgo are going through very similar experiences right now. Virgos, I will always say the Virgos are going through it much worse than the Leos. Everybody keeps saying cancer, cancer, cancer. The cancer is the one I'm having a hard time remembering, which is so funny because it's dreamy. So the cancer's message again. I'm pointing all the cancers to the YouTube video. Find it in my link tree because I don't want to mess it up. But we really see here that like cancers are kind of doing the opposite. There was decisions made. They're moving forward into those decisions, and it's one of those situations where like the more decision. There's clarity that's coming from them moving so adroitly through these things and allowing themselves to be vulnerable and allowing people to talk to them about it. Thank you so much for the gift, Tatted. Aries, you guys are great. Get as much done as you can this week. That's all we saw. Aries and Sag had like almost the same message. Get it done this week. There's a bag. I think they both had Ace of Pentacles energy. And Aries actually also had Emperor energy, which means you guys are like, we're in our power this week. So embody your Emperor, get done everything you want to get done this week because it's all going to be successful for you. Aquarius is funny. Aquarius is having some kind of conflict in their life during the retrograde. There's going to be a restoration point this week. The message to Aquarius is don't continue a fight if someone is apologizing. Really try to embody empathy. And if you do that, things are going to work very well in your favor and also in restoring any kind of conflict that you had between yourself and another person. Scorpio had one of the most difficult messages. It was entirely around partnership. Scorpios, we saw very clearly Everything's around partnership. There's some determination or realization that occurred during the retrograde that the Scorpios need to, that made them realize that either someone they're in partnership with has a very different plan in terms of what the future looks like or where they're going. And this is like a huge separation point for them. Scorpios are being advised to really go inwards and figure out what their spiritual path is calling them to do, and that's going to give them the guidance they need. Libra, during the retrograde, you discovered that there's some disruption in terms of your future plans, and that may be an issue with some toxic behavior that you discovered either on yourself or around someone else around you. You are in your power right now, though, because you pulled the Justice card, which is the Libra card. So it says to you that if you move from a place of balance to heal these things, to heal this like devil reversed energy, you're going to have a lot of success. All right. So we got, guys, I'm gonna have to. We are getting. It's getting a little late for me. So I will say, because I've got everybody. I feel so bad. Everybody's asking me. Everybody's asking me for all of them again. So at this point, I'm probably gonna say, "You're so welcome, dear." If you missed it, please just go. If you go to my link tree, you can find my YouTube. The full video is up there, and you can just rewind to your particular one for the week. I am going to try to make this a weekly series, so I will be back on next Monday. I've also will be probably going on. I need to confirm with Pearl. We've been doing the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy updates. I believe we've been starting to do them every Thursday. If you have questions that are more based on your relationships or your karmic relationships, I don't like to say twin flame because I've got some touchy opinions on the term twin flame and how it's used here. But if you've got questions around your relationship, you should definitely tune into that, because we really help you understand what's going on with the feminine and masculine energies, bearing in mind those are not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. Also, thank you guys so much for the follows. They mean the world to me. As you may know, every day I come on and I do my card of the day, so you can kind of follow on the daily journey with us. And as I always mention, I do offer private readings. You can book a reading with me through my link tree. Go to gracerega.com. I offer a bunch of different tiers in terms of how long the reading is. I also offer the ability to have those readings recorded, so you can get a recording at the end of the reading, so you can kind of check back on it after we've met. Oh, thank you so much, Golly. Thank you guys so much for joining. This means the world to me. I have such a lovely time doing this. I hope all of you have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Night, everyone. Bye.